Wake up, get up there.
Going to school, hanging with friends, getting a part-time job, and fighting demons. You know, the average high school life. Persona 5 is a game that stays true to its classic Persona formula while adding many robust elements that make the overall experience a more fun and cinematic one. With great music, robust gameplay, interesting story, and a unique style, Persona 5 is one of the best games I've played in a long time. A great sequel is supposed to improve on the work of its predecessors, and P5 delivers on all fronts. Dare I say, it's been worth the wait. If you started the series at Persona 4 like I did, you may have felt bored out of your mind at the beginning of the game. It seems the developers learned from this, and dropped the player right into the middle of a heist gone wrong. They give the player a taste of the combat and what the dungeon feels like, all of which is set to some of the best music in the game. The main character is captured soon after due to a traitor in the group, and the rest of the game is him retelling his story to a prosecutor. From there, he starts attending school and learns that he can enter into the hearts of horrible people to change the personality. There are many twists and turns throughout the game's story, and I thought setting the stage with a traitor in the group was a great idea. It had me guessing on every new addition to the group on who would eventually betray the main character, and where exactly the story was going as the group continued to target bigger and badder people. The game in itself feels like playing an anime, which can be a subjectively good or bad thing depending on your tastes. I personally consider myself a moderate fan of the medium, and I felt that the story was well written, while never going too far into anime cliché. Its characters are decent if you only know them from the main story, but you can choose to spend time with them and learn about their personal issues. While some side stories were more entertaining than others, I found that for the most part it was interesting to see the strange relationships my character made, and after completing the game, I wanted to go back and see what storylines I missed on my first playthrough. This game is absolutely oozing with style from the word go. From the characters' outfits, to the acrobatic moves they pull off, to the menus. That style and art carries over to every action-packed moment of the story, while obviously taking a back seat during the more exposition-driven parts. And it makes the experience much more visually appealing than any other game in the series. The battles are in classic Persona fashion, turn-based. Each character uses their own persona. Think of it as like a Pokemon version of their true self. And you'll encounter a variety of these strange demons as you go through the hearts of corrupted adults. Each enemy has some sort of weakness, and if you can figure it out, your character can attack again. If you manage to exploit the weakness of all your enemies, you can either choose to end the battle early, or try to negotiate with the demon to join your side. This battle system is just as good here as it was in previous games, but what I really enjoyed were the improvements to combat, with the ability to switch party members on the fly, and the ability to have another party member attack instead after a character exploits a weakness. But perhaps the biggest change to gameplay is the layout of dungeons. In Persona 4 and 3, they were essentially a series of hallways leading from floor to floor, but here, they're intricate labyrinths with puzzles and themes based around how the person's brain works that you're inside. For instance, the first target is a gym teacher who sees himself as a ruler of the school, so his heart sees him as a king of a castle. From hopping onto chandeliers to climbing up walls, the characters are more acrobatic and interesting to look at outside of combat than they've ever been, and this is a huge improvement to previous games in the series. There is, however, one element to exploration that's not as tight as the rest of it, and that's the stealth mechanic. If you're behind a wall, you can ambush a nearby enemy for an advantage in battle, but for some reason your camera is locked to a limited area in front of you when you're hiding. This has led to some annoying fights where I wanted to leave cover, and because I couldn't move my camera, I was ambushed by an enemy I couldn't see. If you are a fan of Persona 3 and 4's hallways, however, there is a place called Mementos where you can go through to level up your characters and change the hearts of minor characters outside of dungeons. The dungeons and battles are flashy and fun, but make no mistake, this game is a slow burn. This is at least an 80-hour game, and the game intends for you to, well, take your time. In between dungeon exploration, what you do in Shibuya is up to you, and there's plenty of ways to spend your time. You can upgrade social links with party members and people throughout the world to give them new helpful abilities, and help your persona become stronger. Or you can do various activities to upgrade your social stats to unlock new social links, or you can make helpful tools for your next dungeon. I enjoyed planning out how I would spend my time and how I would experience the narrative of Persona 5's characters in between the next major story event. The music in Persona 5 is great and sets the tone for its many settings. From roaming the streets of Shibuya to storming a bank vault in some corrupted person's mind, the music is as strong as it's ever been throughout the series. The Persona series is known for its catchy battle themes, and it's no slouch here either. Last Surprise is great, and it goes great to the colorful scenes in its battles. The problem I have, and one that's consistent with almost all RPGs at this point, is that you'll be hearing this exact same battle theme for every regular fight in the game, and believe me, that is a solid majority of your 80-hour experience. In truth, I can't fault the game for it, because pretty much every other RPG does it, but sooner or later the song is going to get stale on you. Persona 5 is a perfect example of a sequel done right. It doesn't change anything about the series fundamentally, and yet the additions it adds make gameplay that much more enjoyable. The writing's just as tight as it's ever been, and the characters feel well developed, without ever falling too much into anime cliche. The gameplay hits all the right marks, and provides a good challenge for any RPG fan. Strap in, fellow gamers. If you love RPGs, this is simply a game that you have to play. I'd recommend it by...
Give me more! We're done here. Let's go. Nice work, team.
Hey guys, this has been Kaznarius. I hope you liked my first review for the Silent Protagonist. Me and Pork Chopper hope to put out videos every week, roughly around that point. And we hope to see you guys next time. See you later, fellow gamers.